Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. The politics of maize is still here with us. The diversion is from whether GMO is harmful for our health or it is going to make change tilt the prices back home here. And so the farmer will most likely go at a loss because it will alter the prices of the grain. Welcome to the bold analysis, and kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also share our video. The twists and turns in the GMO is really emerging as a very interesting drama. I have just seen a press conference where members of parliament from maize-growing counties in the Rift Valley are up in arms against the president, or rather the government they serve in, about why the GMO maize is docking at Mombasa port while they are raising pertinent questions on the cost-benefit analysis on the side of the farmer. Because now the farmers are harvesting maize that they planted when fertilizer was 7,000. This has been the line. This is what Samson Cherargei, the Nandi senator, is leading a host of these MPs to ask about. So you then, it's a bit in the midst of a confusion because what exactly is going on? Who is importing the maize? Why is someone not answering the question that the MPs are asking? I have seen, and sorry to say this, Rigathi Gachagua, the deputy president, very busy responding to what Raila is saying. And the way Raila should left President Uhuru Kenyatta, as if President Uhuru Kenyatta is asking him to be defended. President Uhuru Kenyatta can respond to Raila himself. But the deputy president, instead of answering a very important question on what the farmer is asking, he's busy talking about Raila. In fact, I don't think it's in order. And let me tell you, ile kitu ambayo unafanyia mwenzako ndio utafanyiwa. What William Ruto did to President Uhuru Kenyatta was unhonorable. And he successfully charged the young members of parliament to go to Mount Kenya and plant a Venom, toxifying the minds of voters in Gema that Uhuru was a problem, that Uhuru was not taking care of them despite the fact that they overwhelmingly voted for him. Now, just 3 months in government, President Ruto is facing the same fate. When members of parliament from his area, the young members of parliament, are also coming out to portray him as a man who is not taking care of the voters in his home. Kiama ni hapa tu. No one knew. The same image, and I want us to watch that video here. I've also matched it with another one of another lady speaking about what exactly has been the politics of GMO at the global stage. Listen to that.
Importation of 10 million bags of duty-free maize into the country, given that there is no official gazette notice that has been formally and legally issued. We are aware that there are plans by the Ministry of Trade to import 10 million bags of duty-free maize into the country, while at least this is the season of maize harvest in major parts of the country. It has never happened before that the maize is imported into the country during harvest season, yet we understand that the local maize production is always our first remedy. As members of parliament from maize-producing region, we seek to know the reason as to why ships are already docking in Mombasa port without the laid down legal procedures in place. An adjournment motion in this afternoon has been sponsored by Honorable Kirwa MP Masop, Honorable Kosing, and Honorable Kaikai Bisau in National Assembly, and a statement by Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei in the Senate. We are aware there was no cabinet approval in the importation of duty-free maize into the country. This will undermine the intention of guarantee minimum returns to farmers GMR, which was championed by CS Moses Kuria.
Who wrote the agreement on agriculture that's destroyed all the the self-reliance and food sovereignty of people. You know, everyone's talking about the Ukraine war and Russia, but the reason African countries are hungry is because their ability to produce their food was destroyed by the right to dump by Cargill. Cargill wrote the agreement on agriculture, and then the junk food industry, the Pepsis and Cokes and Nestle's, wrote the sanitary and phytosanitary agreement and created the Codex Alimentarius to shut down healthy food and push the food that gave us illnesses, 75% chronic diseases. This is not a conspiracy. There is evidence that the corporations wrote the rules, then it created the billionaires. Now the billionaires rule the world. And I call them the 1%, not because they're 1%, they're just a handful. And when you ask me, you know, what's the optimism? For me, the optimism is a pathetic group of ignorant, selfish men are not more powerful than all the people who've occupied the palace of the president in Sri Lanka, the farmers who've occupied the streets of Netherlands. People have power. We've been made to think we are inert. We've been made to think nature is inert. And all it is a colonization of our mind. The minute we become free and say, we are part of nature, we are creative, and we are powerful. Powerful in a different way. Powerful in the way of Shakti. Powerful in the way of non-violent resistance, of absolutely refusing to be colonized.
So that is what is happening. You look at it and say what exactly it is. Kenya Ports Authority have made a clarification that the 18,000 tons of maize that docked in Mombasa port were actually maybe maize from the World Food Program, and perhaps this is part of the humanitarian aid. What they are not saying in that clarification is whether they are GMO or they are from which country or what it is. They're not clarifying on that. And if you check the Twitter page of World Food Program, yes, I have not seen them making any post on the same. So I'm not seeing. If there is, maybe someone will tell us. But of course, World Food Program is also UN organization. United Nations World Food Program is the world's largest humanitarian agency towards the world. So it can go towards the humanitarian aid. This points out to a very important question, that who is importing and what was exactly the deal? Yesterday, and I think you need to get this clarification a bit, I had a single privilege, and I still say thank you very much to Honorable Boni Khalwale. I interviewed Boni Khalwale and I asked him this question of GMO, and the senator who is also the chief whip in the Senate was telling me that according to government, this is how the maize is going to, the selling is going to be done. The farmers are supposed to harvest, and after harvesting, the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCB, is supposed to buy that maize from the farmers. Now, when they buy from the farmers, there is a policy on minimum returns. So what that dictates is that the National Cereals and Produce Board must buy the maize from the farmer at a cost that will not make the farmer incur a loss. What they're saying is this: farmers, the maize they're harvesting now, they bought at 7,000, fertilizer at 7,000, including the other cost of production. So that tells you that the cost of production was high. So when government imports maize now, whether GMO or not GMO, I think the point is they don't want maize to be imported. So when maize is brought now, what that means is that it's going to alter the prices. So because National Produce and Cereals Board is going to be at liberty is going to have excess maize, they will most likely want to buy from the farmer at a lower price. And they are saying that that importation is most likely going to affect the price of maize. Now, this is it. The millers are supposed to make a profit. So if all the maize imported, maybe important taken to the National Cereals and Produce Board, and the miller is realizing that if I buy maize, the imported maize, the GMO maize, I'll buy at a lesser price. Let's do a bag at 130. It took a bag at 130. Then the one that has been harvested is going at 180. Which one will the miller go for? That's the point. So I think what Senator Khalwale told me was that Cherargei and the team ought to have been told of this. But then I wonder, what is happening? These were the people that were defending government to the core. Just 3 months in government, they've started crying out. But then to William Ruto also, why is he not talking about it? I have seen Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, instead of talking about the pertinent issue like that one of maize GMO importation, he's taking his time when he goes to podium talking about Raila. You know, he's just so busy and he's just so obsessed with Raila. I find that, you know, he's just so busy protecting Raila against William Ruto. Look here, I think William Ruto can defend himself and respond to Raila. It does not need the deputy president. That's not the role of the deputy president to respond to Raila. The role of the deputy president is service delivery to the people. And one of the things that is at the table now is the issue of GMO. So I think Gachagua should respond to these GMO issues and not waste time telling us about what Raila, that Raila. No, Raila can call press conference and we can listen to what Raila wants to say. Raila has a Twitter page. We can listen to what Raila wants to say. But we are not adding this. If you look at that press conference, there was no leader from Mount Kenya. There was no leader from Mount Kenya. And I want to just ask look at it very importantly. This conversation about, you know, the two arguments of GMO. One is the issue of the safety. So the conversation about it altering the price of the grain is diversionary because it diverts the attention of the people to ask on the health risks that it has. Scientists, the few that I've spoken to, are really defending GMO. They are really defending. Few scientists that I've spoken to, they're really defending GMO. So what exactly is happening? Because this conversation and bit of different voices where and Cherargei is saying that there was no cabinet resolution that passed the issue of the GMO. So this was matter that rested on the door of William Samoei Ruto, on the table of William Samoei Ruto. Then if they know that, why are they not going to the president and asking the president the most important question? Why are they calling press conferences? Where they can meet the president. They can call a president to the meeting. What are we seeing? We've seen conversations about guaranteed minimum returns from the game, from Mount Kenya counties. So the guaranteed minimum returns for the maize farmer is not in the table. And I can tell you this, that slowly, what we can see here is that people who were actually supporting President Ruto from his backyard are simply turning against him. And that is why I say that the sponsored venom against President Uhuru Kenyatta, former President Uhuru Kenyatta in Mount Kenya, is back in Kenya Kwanza. Is back, and that is there. We are waiting for somewhere else. You went and told the people that Uhuru Kenyatta was a problem. Now, you know, you're in government, the same people from his home ground are the first ones to start complaining. Not even Nyanza, not Mombasa, not Western. The first person to complain that you're not taking care of us is the maize farmer from Trans Nzoia, the maize farmer from those counties in Rift Valley. So what we are dealing with is something very critical. Now, does it mean that Ruto's deep state is inaccessible? Or is simply not in touch with the people? And what will bring that? If Ruto is not in touch with the people, then it means that the GMO and the base conversation is above board. that he can't listen to the voice of those, because no one is responding to them. Sadly, no one is responding to them. So it only means that maybe he is not listening to the people and is listening to a higher master. I have seen World Food Program importing food. When Bill Gates was in this country recently, he mentioned that he promised, I think 874 billion donation in Kenya. So when he came, and his point was also on the GMO, I don't know whether he was responding because it was a topic or someone asked him, but responding because he came really for that. I have a strong perception, I have a strong feeling that William Ruto is under pressure and his hands are tied on this. Because again, question is this: why is Agriculture Ministry, which is under Mythical Inturi, not involved in this? Because the maize farmer, the person that should be talking to the maize farmer is not Moses Kuria. The person that should be talking to the maize farmer is Mythical Inturi. Even if government was there was reorganization, but why did we have to take the import aspect, the maize import aspect, to the Ministry of Trade and Industrialization? The Gazette notice that Moses Kuria was talking about, I think it was supposed to be done by the Ministry of Agriculture, which is led by Mythical Inturi. So it brings me to my third point. Is William Ruto setting up Moses Kuria for rejection? Or Moses Kuria is just becoming a victim of the circumstance? Because in Mount Kenya, there is a conversation about minimum returns for coffee, macadamia, and so. But in Rift Valley, we are not talking about the minimum return for the farmer. You never know. Sadly, in my place, in the village of Siaya, we don't have any cash crop. We were doing sisal until I don't know what happened. So, Moses Kuria is now becoming appointed. These people are talking about Moses Kuria. Well, in real sense, President Ruto knows everything. Why is Moses Kuria becoming crucified? He is actually being crucified because he's the one who's been put there. I have seen the conversation heading to passing a vote of no confidence and ejecting Moses Kuria from the cabinet. William Ruto would still make this pile pressure, and this will be a higher strategy to push Moses Kuria to the wall, so that this comes, another one comes. Moses Kuria is a CS that have been in problems with almost everyone. If it was about Portland, he went there, blunder, crashed, went. About Mitumba band, he made another blunder, it was here. Now again, he's in the spotlight about GMO. But is it a making of President Ruto to eject him from the cabinet? And why is the Rigathi Gachagua and the Mount Kenya team silent about this? Because this seems to be something bigger than what we see. However, ukifanyia mwenzako hata unafanyiwa hapa. And that's what I'm saying. Where are Oscar Sudis? They are quiet. Where is Kimani Ngunjiri? They are quiet. They are supposed to talk and defend the government now. That's my vote. They're finished there.